Hello there, good morning everybody. This is Pastor Shibu John from Toronto, Canada. On the 24th of February 2026, this morning, we are going to meditate from Philippians chapter 2 and verse 3. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 3. Do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility consider one another as more important than yourselves. A focal point for today's meditation is Christ-like character through love and humility. Apostle Paul is urging unity in the church. In the third verse of second chapter of Philippians explains how that unity is protected by eliminating self-centered motives and embracing humility. And this verse sets up the supreme example of humility that follows Christ himself. We read that in chapter 2 verses 5 to 11. And again it says, do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit. You know what? Selfishness refers to rivalry, self-promotion, or a partisan spirit. It describes acting to advance one's own position. It literally means empty arrogance, vain glory, or groundless pride, seeking honor without substance. Apostle Paul is not merely condemning outward conflict. He targets the inner motives behind actions. Even good deeds can be corrupted by wrong ambition, but with the humility of mind. The term Apostle uses for humility would have sounded strange, even undesirable. In the Greek-Roman culture, or let me put it in this way, Greco-Roman culture, where social rank, public recognition, and personal honor were highly valued. And again, you know what? Christian humility is not self-hatred or denying one's value. It's an honest assessment of oneself before God and a willingness to serve others. Humility is a mindset of mind. It begins internally before it expresses itself externally. Consider one another or regard one another as more important than yourselves. This does not mean thinking others are more capable in every way, ignoring personal needs or boundaries. It means valuing others' interests and well-being above self-advancement, choosing to prioritize others in love. The next verse, which is the fourth verse, clarifies this balance. Look not only to your own interests, but also the interests of others. And the significance about this verse is it reflects the character of Jesus Christ, fully displayed in verses 5 to 11. Jesus Christ did not cling to status, but emptied himself, took the form of a servant, humbled himself to death on the cross of Calvary. Remember, Christian humility is therefore Christ-shaped humility. Now let us take a practical application in our lives. In conflict, always ask, am I seeking to win or to love? In the leadership, it is to serve rather than dominate. In relationships, listen before establishing or defending. In the ministry, always examine motives. Is this for God's glory or for my glory? Philippians 2:3 calls believers to a radical reorientation of motive and mindset. Reject self-centered ambition, embrace Christ-like humility, and actively value others above yourself. Unity in the church flows not from uniformity, but from humility. Apostle Paul's goal was to remove focus from self to others. In this Apostle Paul takes a slightly different approach than Christ's statement to love your neighbor as yourself. Instead, he first addresses the motives of wrongful ambition and pride. When these drive our decisions, love and unity are not our true goals. Instead, Apostle taught that Christian believers ought to treat the needs of others as more important than our own. And finally, those who put others first exhibit Christ-like character through love and humility. Always remember that. Have a very blessed day and God be with you.